Good morning and welcome to Outsiders Genie, preview of today's racing at the Vaal. I'm fortunate enough to, a friend lent me his newer version laptop, so I'm hoping today it will go better with the scrolling up and down. Before I go on, I just want to remind you to please click the subscribe button and ring the bell so that you can get notifications of my video once I post it for each day's preview. Well, we kick off in the first race, and here my first selection is number 5, Duke's Game. Duke's Game is currently 18 to 10, but there is a favorite in this race. It's number 11, Apollo Robbins. Now Apollo Robbins had, let me just discuss Duke's Game first. Duke's Game took a while to find his feet. But last time on 18th of January, it ran 4.5 rings behind Enrique. Now, and Sam Lucia, the top jockey riding drawn 2, I think it's going to be hard to beat this horse. And I also want to mention that in this field, with the biggest respect to all the owners paying their monthly training fees, this is not the best field I've seen in a very long time. Now, as I said, the favorite is number 11, Apollo Robbins. It's a master of my fate out of a lecture mare. He's had one run, 1200 meters, 6.5 lengths behind. And today it's got Matsuela. I don't know if you maybe don't know, but Matsuela at one stage attended the academy. But for some other reason, he never completed his things. So that is the favorite, but I think Dude's Game will be too strong. Then, I battled to find outsiders in this race. But yeah, obviously you have to go with number 1, Gold Lightning. That should be involved in the finish somehow. It has run a few fair races, and it's got the usual tally jockey on, Gingwichi. And then also my other outsider selection is number 6. That is Blue Flute. Blue Flute has been thereabouts, running behind 4.7. So he's always involved in a finish. So Blue Flute can be, run into the quartets. And then also look at the other number 2. That's the other sham horse. You can also include that in your quartets. I'll then move on to race number 2. Race number 2 is a graduation plate over 1,000 meters. And here we have a field of 8 horses. My first selection, number 8, See My Vision, Informed Stable, Larina Magner. This horse has run against some fair company. Last time out behind Look to the Sky, he was slow. And before that, he just fell behind Shaibela. Yeah, there is other horses in this field that I just want to mention. Number 1, Impressive Duchess. This horse has also run against very strong fields. I don't know what went wrong last time, but it didn't run a good race at the Vaal last time. But still, I have included her into my selections because of the Genie stable, and as you never know. And I see Marco van Rensburg has got 8 rides, 2 wins, 1 second, and a 4th for this trainer. So they're also starting to have a few winners. Then another horse that disappointed me, and I don't know how this horse is going to go this afternoon, is number 3, Summer Afternoon. Last time out it lost the jockey, so you can ignore that run. Then my other outsider selection is the number 6, Madame Patrice. So my 2 outsider selections are both speed horses. Madame Patrice, maybe she's a little bit down, she's out on the weights because there's a graduation plate, and she's got a lower merit rating of some of the other horses, but she's always there and thereabouts. Again on during the week she finished 3rd over the 1,200 meters, where she was up there, and they caught her in the last like 20 meters. Today it's 200 meters shorter, and I'm sure this horse will be involved in the finish. It's not often that you see Calvin Murray do ride for Cornet's Peace. Then we move on to the 3rd race. Now here the strong favorite is number 2, Peace on the Rocks. But I'm sticking to the tried and tested combination, which has been getting the winners the last few days. Number 1, Malvern. And I'm selecting it not just about the jockey and trainer combination, but I really do believe that this horse will be much better over 1,400 meters. In its first race, This horse finished 23.5, 400 to finish. Now, to me, that is obviously that the horse can run, and he came from a helpless position to run fifth in that race over 1,000 meters. And I do believe the 1,400 will suit him better. Then in the third race, my outsider selections is number 4. Number 4 is, guys, what you can't see it from your side, but I'm using the online computer, so I'm scrolling up and down here. On my old computer, it used to be a huge problem. Today, it's very much better, and I really enjoy this. This is number 4, a Wiley Hall filly, out of a Escota de Lago mare. This also had a few three runs. Last time out, I don't know, it was on the 9th of November. She was there, and then she faded over the 1,400, but before that, she ran over the 1,600 meters, 4.25 behind Flaming Opal, and they were one winner out of that field. But what caught my eye was in his last race behind Virtuosa, that's a very strong field, because out of that field, there was already 4 winners. So that is a nice outsiders to include in your play, and Florescent is currently 13-1. My other outsider selection in this race is number 12, and number 12 is Serenity. Now, Serenity is from the Azzy stable. It is a Vaal, and I like the breeding of this horse, and it's definitely a horse that you're going to need to follow. Barbara Strives by Equal Stripes mare. It's had 2 runs. The first run over the 1160 didn't show much, and then last time out over after being stubborn at the start over the 1450 length, 2.27 lengths behind Tulip Way, and out of that race there was 12 runners already. There's 1 winner. So number 12 Serenity, definitely a horse that you must include into your play. And then yeah, there's some nice other, there is other horses who have a chance. Just something that caught my eye, but the problem being is around the bend, this horse is drawn 14, is number 11 Saving Grace. Now, number 11 Saving Grace is very well bred. Duke of Marmalade out of Gracie Jones. I think Gracie Jones, one of the horses, is running with the Baden Botha stable. It ran on Tuesday. I can't remember the name now. But she has thrown some decent horses, so put that into your play. Yeah, as I said, there's horses with chances in this race. Then we move to race number 4, where my first choice is number 6, Rius Winter. Larina for Moffat. This combination don't combine often. I see they've only combined 3 times in the past, and then for 1 second. But number 6, Rius Winter, last time out ran a very good race behind Rockin' Russia. I remember this horse broke its maiden in its first race at 33-1. And since then, she's run against some fair competition. Based Faith, Miss Florida, that was in Scottsville, that was a grade 1, 4.7 lengths behind. Spring Break is running in the future in the Cape over the weekend. Nikki Noo's No Slouch, Donnerweer, Rocking Russia. So she's been running against very strong competition, and I think today is going to be her day to land up in the winner's box. Then my outsider selections is number 4. And number 4 is Ile de France. This is a Vaal filly, Elabella by Fortwood. It's got this French jockey on. I think he's ridden 2 winners already. She won her first race very comfortably over the 1450. Today she's back over the 1450, but although on a Vaal classic track. And last time out she did over 1200 meters. Says she never went on, but she was third fastest to 400, 24.1, which is a good sign. I just want to mention in her very first race when she broke her maiden, she did a 22.9, 400 to finish over a 1450. Now to me that is in anything under 23 seconds, 400 to finish is good. So do not leave out number 4, Ile de France. Then my other outsider selection in this race is number 8, Gaelic Princess. This is a Vergentorix filly out of a Jalad Meer. I don't know what happened last time. It's just not striding, not persevered with. But before that, she ran close to Tartan Dancer, Alzari. Definitely a horse that you must include. And if I'm not mistaken, I just want to check quickly. Yeah, she is the fifth best weighted horse in the race. So definitely an outsider that you need to include. Obviously, yeah, number 2, Golden Bell and Lady of Steel, who won last week, has been scratched. But there are other horses of chance. Stage Dance also has a chance, drawn 10, unfortunately. And then number 7, Segment. This horse has only had 2 runs, and it's also Kennedy and Peter. Definitely you need to include this in your pick 6. It did run in a much lower division last time, so today will be a test. So don't leave it out of your pick 6. We then move on to race number 5. Race number 5 is where my first selection is number 8. And I must say, when I look at this race, when I got to Benview, I saw that Benview is 2 from 2 on this course and distance. So and then that was immediately my thought was to make her my first selection. But then eventually I got to number 8, Go Indigo, and yeah, I think Indigo must have a good chance. She ran against some very good opposition, but I think that Beneville will definitely give her a race for the first place. I just want to say, just for interest sake, the dam of Indigo is Go Indigo, and that used to be trained by Leon Erasmus, and the Phyllis Guineas with that horse. I think it was the biggest race he ever won. He ever won. May his soul rest in peace. Then there's other, obviously other horses with chances. This is a race where most of the horses have got chances. Looking at number 7, Nordic Rebel, he won a very good race against Marshall Falk. Marshall Falk came out during the week and won also Dan the Lad. But I think she ran, Nordic Rebel ran 5th behind Beneview over this course and over this course last time. So the previous run. But yeah, has got strong form. Number 5, Culture Trip, has also got a horse that has shown ability, but the last 2 runs was a little bit off form. So yes, you have to be careful with that. But this horse did beat Beneview again in previous races. So it's like going around. And then Flash Burn, he also ran against Virginia last time, pace, and then he faded out. That's also a horse that you need to go. But yeah, my selection here is number 8, and with number 3, Beneview. Oh, I just also want to mention another thing. Rising Legend has changed stables, and is now with the Alec Laird stable. Kumalo riding first time out for them. If you can afford it, include it into your pick 6. Then we move on to the race number 6, which is a Mediterranean 80 handicap over 1600 meters. And here my first selection is number 6, Matt Loop, which is also a value bet. Well, this horse won his second race very easily over the 1600 meters. And yeah, I thought he was going to go on, and then ran third behind Skin Mac. And then he ran over the 2,000 meters and didn't run well. They said it was coughing. Last time out, they brought him back over the 1600 meters behind Nordic Rebel. And yeah, she's restless. So that is, then my outsider selections for this race is with that. Number 6 is number 4. Number 4 is Mambo Symphony. Mambo Symphony has recently joined the Dawson stable, and it is now a third run after a lengthy rest. Last time out it improves to 1.4 behind Norland, Larina, and Dawson. Definitely a horse not to leave out. And then another horse that I'm very scared of is number 7, Baby Let's Mambo. I had it in my pick 6, but I unfortunately had to take it out because I didn't want to for the cost. But this horse, you never know who and how it's gonna run. But last time out, where he ran against Gigi's Dynasty, and yeah, I think Gigi's Dynasty has come out and won again. 13 lengths behind, it showed pace and died over the last 400 meters. So if you can afford, include that into your play. Then we have Cape Town Affair. Cape Terrafield won last time over the 1600 meters. Got Juggler aboard, getting minus 2.5. It can come in again, but it's running against stronger horses. And, so, but it did beat Wakas last time out. So, and Wakas is in this race again with Pierce Stradon. Pierce Stradon has ridden this horse 3 times for a win and a third. So, will definitely be involved in the finish. Also ran 0.10 behind Marshall Fock, 3 runs back. So keep an eye out on this one as well. Do include it into your play. We then move on to race number 7. Race number 7 is my is over 2,000 meters, and here my first selection is number. Okay, now sorry about that. Just struggling a little bit with this thing. Was going down. It's number 10, Christopher Robin. This horse is Callan Murray is riding for St. Grey. I see Callan has ridden 5 times for him, but he hasn't won a place yet. I'm sure he's desperate to win it for him. And Christopher Robin ran behind our man Vanna last time out, 4.25. But the main thing about this, if you go and watch the horse, this horse was badly bulky, could never get a run. And I think today, if he not get get bulked, he'll be definitely involved in the finish, and he'll be running on strongly. St. Grey has got 3 horses in this race. He also got Rocky Path, and then he also got number 2 at hand. And don't be surprised if he runs the exacta or even the trifecta. The favourite in this race is number 4 Ncha from the Gary Alexander stable. It does have a chance, and definitely needs to be included. Last time out was second behind Van Chatten. Just before that ran third to Rocky Path. Then and outside of that, you guys could look to include, if you want to get maybe a better payment, and I didn't typically as one of my outsiders, is Wondrous Climber. Wondrous Climber, a year ago, he was winning races left, right, and centre. But yeah, he's running against much stronger than he's running in this race. But we all know he needs much further. But he came off a rest in November. Then I ran him over the 1,800 meters, and then the 1,600 meters, another 1,800 meters. And today it's running over the 2,000 meters, which the longer distance will definitely suit him. And this is the kind of horse you want to include in your quartet. I don't say the horse will win it, but it can come in and make the quartets pay a little bit more. So do include it in your quartet, maybe for 3rd and 4th, when you do your calculations and when you do your quartet play. We then move on to race number 8. Race number 8 is my selection for the best bet of the day, and that is number 1, Without Minister Without. Now, Minister Without, if you check the form, you'll see it ran in Natal the last time, and it was beaten by a horse called Wolfgang. Now, Wolfgang, again, is the subject of where we have this 2-year-old filly we're selling shares in, and we have the half sister to Wolfgang. Now, Wolfgang has won subsequently again, and so I think Minister Without running second to Wolfgang definitely brings him in with a chance in this race, and then therefore this is also my best bet for the day. And at 72, go each way. If the horse doesn't win, you're going to get maybe 180, 190 back on your stake. There is some horses of chances. I do also like number 2, Wara Wara. I've been following this horse for a long time. Number 10, Fits of Fire, is also in with a chance, 5-2. Gavin Arena, Michael Azzi. But there's something in this interesting horse I want to mention to you, and that's number 11, Putner's Promise. Now, Putner's Promise is from the St. John Grey stable, and it is announced out of Pavlova. Now, Pavlova has thrown 1 or 2 good horses. I know there are I think there's now one running from Pavlova, which is not running that well. But I have included in my pick six, if it wins and then I double up at 14 to 1, it is worth a 20 rand each way or a 25 rand each way because Surgeon has got this thing that he can win with outsiders first time out. So do include that into your play. Well, that then concludes our preview for today, the Vaal, 30th of January. Have a go at it and break a leg.